Hello, boys and girls. It's so wonderful to be here again. You in your house and me in my house. And today we're going to look at some different things than a car, but it's still to do with a car. And we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so boys and girls, I just want to say a special hello to Otis. And Otis, I was so proud to see the beautiful pictures your mummy sent through, or your daddy, not sure. But you were composting and digging in your garden. And do you know the most exciting thing was the fort that you had actually created, and you were sleeping in it. So goodness, that sounds exciting. And I know lovely Kirsty has been making amazing huts and fort-like structures in her house, and she's been reading the most gorgeous stories cuddled in, and making a cozy place to look at books is just wonderful. So keep doing that, boys and girls. I remember when I was a little girl, my mum would put a blanket over our table, and we used to make a hut underneath the table, and it was so cozy. And we used to get blankets and our pillows, and we used to snuggle down and look at books with a torch, which is really exciting. So there's all sorts of fun things you can do at home, and lovely, Otis, to see you doing that. And I'm sure you're interested in what Steve's making at the moment, and I know lots of you will be able to see the little castle that he's created. And castles are easy to make because you just need boxes and lots of imagination and some colouring things to make the castles look beautiful. Well, boys and girls, we've been talking about cars and all the special things that we need to have on a car. And Steve's ute isn't a car, but it's a vehicle, and it does lots and lots of work. And as he talked about on his video, he has to take his ute to preschool with rocks in it and boxes and wood and ladders and goodness, all sorts of things. But sometimes even big trucks that we have, like this truck here, even though it's a huge truck, it's called a tip truck, and it tips a heavy load off it, it still isn't big enough for some of the jobs that we need to have trucks do. So even these big trucks, even this big truck here, it's a huge truck. Oh, goodness me. Well, boys and girls, after that catastrophe, I picked up the pieces, so I have to get Steve, the builder, to glue it all back together. But as I was saying, with the wheels dropping off, accidents happen to everybody. Even big trucks like this that have a great big tray here, flat deck, they can take huge things like a whole container, but sometimes even they are not big enough or precise enough to do the special jobs that of the kind of help to a vehicle, things that help vehicles, which I'm going to talk about now. Okay, so we'll put that down and we'll put it on Steve's to-do list, which is very long. Okay, now these things here, which I talked about when we were talking about vintage cars breaking down and our little Morris breaking down, but sometimes even if you've got a car or a ute, you still need a trailer. So they're a vehicle, but they haven't got a motor, so they have to be attached to something. So this would be attached to a car, and remember the old vintage car or Steve's white ute, if it breaks down, you need a special trailer. And Steve put a picture in to show you the straps that go over on this car trailer so that the car can be transported, because it would be very hard to get a car up high on a big truck. So these are very important, these trailers. They haven't got an engine. They're not really a car, but they help cars and they help us by doing special things. So there's one trailer. Now you can have some little creature that lives in a paddock, but if you want to shift him a long way, or her, it's very difficult. And this little creature's a horse. In fact, it's not that little, it's quite big. So if you've got a horse munching grass in a field and you want to take that horse to another farm or to the races or somewhere special, then you have to not get a truck, but you can get a special trailer that's actually called a horse float. See, it's got a little horse picture on it. It's very strong. It's got 2 wheels there and 2 wheels there, 4 wheels, but you attach it to a car. And then the little horse, there's a special part at the back here that opens, and the little horse goes inside. And once he's inside, he's got windows he can peep through, and he's quite safe and secure. And it's a very strong trailer. So a little light trailer, the horse could jump about and move, and that could cause an accident. But these are very strong trailers, specially designed for horses. And actually, I was incorrect before, because there are trucks that are specially designed for horses too, and they have a ramp that the horse can get into. But again, they are very specially designed. They're very strong. But this is kind of like a trailer, but it's called a horse float. And there are lots and lots of trailers when boys and girls have special farm days, and they bring in their special ponies and horses if they're very lucky. Okay, my little sweethearts, now there's something else that has to be delivered, and this is something that helps the truck. Now this truck is carrying something very, very special, and it's got shell on it, and I wonder if you know what's inside this big tank. It's on the back of a truck. You're right, it's fuel. It's fuel that make all our cars go, and we pump the fuel into our car when it gets empty, and then off it goes again. But sometimes they have to transport so much fuel that they need a trailer. And here it is, and it's a very, very special trailer because it can move round. It's so long that it can move sideways like that, so that when it's going round a corner, it will be able to get right round. Otherwise it wouldn't, because it's so long. So you've got all the fuel in that one, and you've got all the fuel in that one. So it's 2 tanks being pulled along by the truck, and the driver sits in the cab and he pulls that big tank, and then the trailer comes after with another tank. And if you're out on the open road going on a holiday sometime, have a little look, because there's lots of these on the road, and they're huge, and they carry so much fuel or so many goods. But not just one, they have to have that trailer. So trailers are very, very important. They can carry horses, they can carry fuel, they can carry cars, and I have one more here. Sometimes they can carry all sorts of other liquids, sometimes gas, sometimes all sorts of different things, and that trailer gets attached to the big truck in the front, or a little cab. But it's a trailer, actually a trailer. It hasn't got its own engine, and it lets the truck travel with lots more goods, or lots more fuel, or lots more gas. So it's economical. Okay, boys and girls, also there's big trucks, and they can carry a whole container. And sometimes you'll see containers at the wharf, great big containers, and they will be lowered down onto a big truck, a flat deck, and then the truck will deliver that to the shops or to wherever it needs to be. So trailers are very, very important. Even though they haven't got engines, they have wheels, and they're very strong, and they're wonderful for bringing goods to cities, especially like our city, Auckland, and up to Whangaparua. So isn't that interesting? Trailers, very important. And I know some of you might have a mummy or a daddy or a granddad or an uncle who owns a trailer, and that trailer, it can be so helpful. We've got a friend who's got a trailer, and they let us borrow it sometimes if we have to pick up something and it doesn't fit in the ute, or the ute's too high to get it in. And I know that Steve's got a little dinghy, and that dinghy goes on a trailer too. So trailers are very helpful, and they go behind a car, and they make it really important that the car has all those things that we talked about on Friday: mirrors, good brakes, good tyres. So isn't that interesting? Right, my little sweethearts, we're going to sing a lovely song all about a hunk of tin, and we're going to use those onomatopoeia words, which are down the bottom here. And they are fun words that sound exactly how they're written. So listen, you see if you can join me saying them or singing them, and enjoy their fun nature. Love them. Love those onomatopoeia words. I'm a little hunk of tin. Nobody knows what shape I'm in. I've got 4 wheels and a running board. I ain't no Chevy and I ain't no Ford. Honk, honk, rattle, 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 crash, crash. Beep, beep. Once again, see if you can do those onomatopoeia words really loud. I'm a little hunk of tin. Nobody knows what shape I'm in. I've got 4 wheels and a running board. I ain't no Chevy and I ain't no Ford. Honk, honk, rattle, 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 crash, crash, beep, beep. Beautiful, beautiful words, aren't they, my little darlings? Okay, just before we go, we'll sing one of our favourite songs that we've been learning last week, and that is Twinkle, Twinkle, Chocolate Bar. And tomorrow, we're going to be counting, a special counting vehicle song. Twinkle, twinkle, chocolate bar, my daddy drives a rusty car. Push the button, pull the choke, off we go in a cloud of smoke. Twinkle, twinkle, chocolate bar, my daddy drives a rusty car. And you can put lots of different words in. My daddy drives a modern car, or my daddy drives a speedy car, because there's lots and lots of words that we can replace and make even a longer fun song. Well, boys and girls, until tomorrow, I look forward to seeing you again. Give your mummies and daddies lots of cuddles. If you've got a little brother or a little sister or a big brother or a big sister, look after them, okay? Be a kind brother or sister. Mwah. Love you.